What's up, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Don't Shoot Disc Golf podcast. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. Hopefully you'll be able to see me any moment now. My name is Harry Messenger. I am your host for tonight, coming to you live from my studio in South Manchester. And I hope you're all having a great time, and welcome to all of my new viewers / existing viewers who are watching on my YouTube stream, which is sponsored by London Disc Golf Community. So thank you so much to the London Disc Golf Community for sponsoring the YouTube stream. The show itself tonight is sponsored by UDisc app. So thanks to UDisc for sponsoring the podcast, and we'll be doing a special giveaway in conjunction with UDisc. So what you have to do is you have to click the link in the chat that's been dropped in there and go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to watch live on the YouTube channel. There'll be people there. You'll be able to see the chat. You'll be able to hang out. You should be able to see the double stream. We've got Carol in there supporting us via the YouTube. And if it's not your thing to go on YouTube or Facebook, we've also got the Twitch stream. So that's twitch.tv/don'tshootdisc. If you go over there, you'll be able to see there's a chat there too. You should be able to follow along. We'll get the chat on the stream at some point, so you'll be able to see all three chats. But we don't have that quite yet, but we've got people in the chat on Facebook, got people in the chat on YouTube, and we don't have people in the chat on Twitch yet, but if you fancy watching it there, then feel free. So yeah, without further ado, let's introduce today's guest. I believe he is here and ready. Tonight we are joined by none other than Mr. Rene, also known as the Danish Disc Golf Guy. Welcome to Don't Shoot.
Hello, Harry. How's it going?
It's going good. I do hear you. I think your audio is back on the other audio, I believe.
Yes, and that's that's part of the whole thing we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Upgrades, always upgrades people.
Well, he's a man with a plan, clearly. So
I am a man with a plan. Yeah.
So we're learning together tonight. So thanks to everybody in the chat. Let me give a few shout outs to Mr. Craig Gardner, Andrew Upmarlis, Matt Lee, Josh Dyer, Max Humphreys, and Ian McDougall, who says hi to Renee.
Hello.
Hello to everybody. Carol letting us know that YouTube is going to be a few seconds behind Facebook. I'll bear that in mind if I have to integrate with multiple platforms. Hopefully, in the future, we'll have all of the chat linked together, so I'll be able to follow along with what you're all saying. Right now, I'm tabbing between them, but that's something that I'm capable of doing. So yeah, Mr. Danish Disc Golf Guy, why don't you let the Don't Shoot community know who you are? Because some of them will not have come across you at this point.
Well, I'm pretty sure that lots of you already know who I am because I've been to the UK to film a few disc golf tournaments, including Bluebell Woods 2 years in a row, and I filmed Creeksea Classic last year. And of course, I've been doing things with Ollie from London Disc Golf Community as well. And I've been doing this. I do a little bit of everything. I do a little bit of live streams once in a while, but not on a regular schedule. I do lots of lost and found stuff. I film playthroughs because apparently that's a popular thing as well. And I call them amateur playthroughs because I am like really an amateur, even though I've been playing disc golf for 5 years. My rating is crawling back towards 700 again. So I do amateur playthroughs of small unknown courses at the moment. And yeah, so well, you know what? Let me upgrade my microphone now we're at it because this sounds terrible, right? You know, we gotta.
Oh, I'm actually not hearing you at all. I think you're muted right now on your other microphone. So you may have to take a little look at that.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
Yeah, we lost you for a sec then.
Yeah. It is on. Oh no, upgrades, people. We just tested it.
we did just test it right before the show. But at least we can still hear you.
Better. Yeah, now you
there
should be able
we
to hear
go.
me.
Oh yeah.
I have no... And this is much better, right?
This is much better. So Ian and chat saying
better.
you sounded fine before. You did sound fine before, but now you've been upgraded once again.
Now I sound even finer.
You do. So yeah. So
Yeah.
for those of you who followed just then, we've got the Danish Disc Golf Guy here, and he is a YouTuber. Particularly, will be one way of describing it. And one thing we want to talk about on the show tonight is technology and technology upgrades while YouTubing. So that's why we've had this microphone demonstration right now. And yeah. We were just talking about this before, so it's really interesting to me. So as somewhat of a new streamer myself, doing this podcast, this is week 25, guys. We're nearly half a year in. I think I might be going to be treating myself to an upgrade. So what would you recommend?
Lights. I definitely recommend lights. And I definitely recommend, even though this is a podcast, but you have a camera on it, so maybe you should talk to your audience instead of talking to the screen. So you look at the camera instead of your screen. I know it's hard because you want to make sure what's going on and follow the chat and stuff like that. It's not super important for this format, I think, but it's just one thing. But lights is really nice. I got myself, I got these two small aperture ML something just for front-facing lights. And then the nice thing about these is that they're actually meant for a vlogging setup. So you can, if you have a little, if you have like one of those, well, of course I didn't bring it with me in. Oh, I did bring it inside.
Yeah.
If you have one of these for to mount your cell phone on, you can also mount the light on top of this.
Very good.
So you can have your little light there, and of course you need a proper microphone. This is a Rode Video Mic ME for using with specifically with an Android phone. So you have like a little vlogging mic here. Good for doing small, recording yourself or recording like interviews, quick interviews with players after a match or something like that. And if it is like normally you don't need the light, but if you are recording in dark situations, the light helps a ton.
Yeah,
and it looks so much better because of course the audio can be good. If the audio is okay, then it doesn't matter that much. But if when you add the lights, it just goes pop, That's one thing I learned. And of course, when you talk to the real, the real professional studio guys, the guys that have being done doing the guys who are doing YouTube on a much more professional level than we are. Of course, you need background lights as well. And my background here is it's it's just some bed sheets. Basically, that's it. My kitchen is behind here. It's quite dirty, and so but you need a proper like a backlit thing. You are already doing something with you have a disc in the background there. I built a little rack myself here to show off some discs of the week for when I'm doing my own streams. Yeah, but
Yeah, well, what I have behind me on the wall up there is another version of this, which is
nice.
A photo of me putting on one of the greens at Manchester, which my brother had made for me for specifically to put behind the show. So, so thanks to my brother for upgrading my background for me, and
yeah,
I know he's happy that I've got that handy to show off on the show. So, hi Tom.
Yeah, I don't know if are you doing anything else but podcast? Are you doing like I'm pretty sure I talked to you at Bluebell last year again.
Yeah.
So are you doing like are you doing anything else but the podcast?
So right now the main thing is the podcast and also the written blog, which I have been slacking on writing new articles for. But yeah, we're hoping to keep doing more and more things. I'm going to film the first video for my YouTube channel tomorrow, I believe, and then we've got to edit it and record over it. But that'll be very amateur to start with, but it's going to be an insight into... Because I'm injured right now, I can't play right-handed. So it's going to be an insight into how to play a league, because it's our weekly league. It's going to be how to play weekly league left-handed.
Interesting, yeah.
So that's going to be a video we shoot tomorrow. So hopefully, now I've said it publicly, people will ask me where it is when I haven't done it, because I have a few issues with posting videos, but...
Yeah, well, it's... we have work and everything else. I have I think I have 4 videos on the backlog at the moment myself that people are asking about. But yeah, I can definitely recommend like good audio. Even like you've seen the camera that I've been using to record at Bluebell and Creeksea as well, and it's just a pretty crappy camcorder. And I am looking into upgrading it, but it's an upgrade is like $2,000, not $2,000, £2,000 or something like that, and to get something proper. But what my main struggle with that camera is that the sound is really bad, because there's no way to attach an external camera to it. It doesn't even have a hot shoe, so I can attach like another recorder for it. And I have been trying, actually this weekend, I have been using this wireless Go mic. You can attach a little windscreen to it as well, and then I taped that onto my monopod and had the receiver end, which is this one, plugged into a separate audio recording device. And then it turned out that in the software that I'm using for editing, it's a pain to sync up the audio when you have multiple video clips, because the video editing software thinks that it's a multicam recording, so it kind of wants to play all of the videos at once. So that was a little bit of a pain, but I am hoping to get a proper camera so I can attach a proper microphone, which is this one. That I got yesterday, and you probably heard a little bit of a noise there, but sorry about that. But yeah, we just talked about prices of our setups, and this is probably, apart from the camera, which I actually did buy specifically for recording disc golf video, this is probably the single most expensive piece of kit that I've bought so far. So
yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's a rabbit hole you can certainly go down, upgrading every bit of your setup. And it's something that I've gone down in the past, so I think I'm going to try and do it incrementally, one little thing at a time. So luckily I've already got
like fortunately for me, I have a pretty good job that allows me to splurge a little bit once in a while. But if you get sponsors, you can pretty quickly get some money in to buy every little something
definitely.
once in a while.
Yeah, my sponsors are really great with all that kind of thing, so I want Yeah.
So
keep going
apart
with
from filming disc golf videos as well, or apart from filming other people play disc golf, I'm also very heavily engaged in the Lost and Found community here in Denmark, and organizing disc golf as well. But specifically on Lost and Found, I'm I've kind of turned into the guy that people are tagging in our local Lost and Found forum when they've thrown something into a lake at one of the local courses, because I'm known to be the guy that jumps into a pair of waders and goes out looking for other people's discs.
Nice.
Like other people go and play disc golf, I go and look for the discs. so so I'm also once in a while filming, myself doing these things. We have a bog at our local course where I kind of know all the places where people are throwing things out now, and I also have I have a drone. I bought a drone that I wanted to use to film flyovers on courses as well, but I haven't really gotten around to do that yet. But it's quite nifty to fly over the bog to actually see if anything is out there before I go looking for them. So that's quite nice as well. So lots of technology, and I think I have like a pretty big collection of different kinds of disc retrieval devices like gators, and I have the hooker from Amsterdam, as we call it. It is actually called the hooker. It's a little hook with a Velcro strap you can attach to the end of a stick. Dean Schaub probably has a few more in stock, and he's probably the only one in Europe who has anyone left, because the company doesn't exist anymore. They're not made anymore. I think I have 2 or 3 of the heads for the gators, where I've been 3D printing new adapters for them, because the original little black adapter usually breaks as soon as you put the thing down the first time. I had one here, but I lost it. So I've been 3D printing some of those as well, so I could attach them to other, longer poles. So I have a 6-meter extension pole that I can put a gator head on. I bought one of the, what's it called? I think it's called an M retriever, that I saw someone in Germany review it, and I thought to myself, I want one of those as well. Bought one of those from Amazon in the US for maybe 40 pounds. That was quite expensive. But I have, retrieved discs with everything from sticks that I've carved out myself to, to actually, I made an extension I made a little float for a what's it called? For a carbon fiber rod that I have, that I attached to the end of my 6-meter stick, so I could grab a disc that was floating in 10 meters out in the lake at a local course. That was fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I sometimes do these little live streams, like spontaneous live streams where I go over the calendar with upcoming events, and I show, if I've been out, we have a very, in the winter though, on our local course, we have a very tiny pond that gets up to like, what's it called? Crotch height. The water gets up there, but it's very tiny. So I set up the tripod, live stream to Facebook, so people can watch me retrieve discs. So I do that once in a while as well.
Nice. That sounds really good. So yeah, I'll definitely have to check out that. And we certainly could use you over here at Quarry Park, because one of our local courses, Quarry Park, has probably thousands of discs in the river. So we could certainly use some retrieval experts.
But how deep is that river?
It's not too deep. Some people go swimming and get discs out in the summer, so that's quite a cool one. So how we normally go about the podcast is we have this segment that we're going to transition to now called the UK Disc Golf News. So this is where we talk about this week's news in the UK, and we give everybody an update on what is going on. But before we do that, I need to shout out once again my sponsor UDisc for this episode. We've got 3 codes for 1 year of UDisc Premium. So if you want a year of UDisc Premium to give to you or a friend, we don't mind who, bring a new player into UDisc, or update yourself for another year on UDisc Premium, all you have to do is subscribe to me on YouTube. The link has been dropped in the chat a few times to my channel, but I will I'll put it in the Facebook chat again now. If you're on the YouTube channel, you should already probably have the link to my YouTube channel. But if you pop over and subscribe to Don't Shoot on YouTube, you'll see currently 37 subscribers. We're trying to get to 100 so that we can get a custom URL for our YouTube channel, because it's quite hard to direct people to my channel at the moment. But so at the end of this live stream, we're going to pick 3 random winners, and you're all going to receive a code for UDisc Live. So thanks to UDisc for that. So yeah, Mr. Danish Disc Golf Guy, let me tell you about what's going on in the UK at the moment.
Yeah, let me hear that.
Yeah, so the first news that we have to break right here is that Quarry Park, which is one of our biggest and most famous courses, has announced today that they've bought some new land for an expansion to the course. So they've bought the field next to the existing course, 5 acres, and that's going to start getting integrated into the course over the next few years. And sort of they've invested in the future of the sport in this country, which is really exciting for us because the course gets very busy, especially with casual players playing the short course, and having the extra space is going to let Mr. Derek Robbins, International Hall of Famer, develop his course further and allow him to see what's going on a little bit more and grow his course out a little bit, which I think he might be going to move some of the short course holes onto the new land in the short term, which will free up the full course for the more serious players, which are starting to get more and more as well. So that's very exciting for us. And I've got a little video we can show probably. I think. Give me a second to set it up. Have you ever been to Quarry Park?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh no, never. I was. I know that Andrew was trying to get me to come and film at Quarry Park. But first of all, I didn't have time that weekend, and second of all, it wasn't his call. So I think it was. Why do I keep forgetting his name? It was Central Coast that did the editing, and it was filmed by
Gareth O'Neill.
Dude. Yeah, and and they had commentary with that other guy. We just talked about it the other day. I already forgot his name.
Richard Hatton.
Yeah.
So So guys, you can hear and see now Mr. Derek Robbins talking in his new field.
5 acres, which is set out behind me. Obviously, just bare field at the moment.
So basically, what you can see going on in this, there'll be audio for the stream, but not for you. So you can see what's going on here. This field here is the new field that they've purchased, and behind here is their existing course that already is in place. You can see that better just here.
I'm now standing.
So the tee of hole 3 of existing course is just back here, and this new field is what they've bought to expand into, and you can see all of this space. Right now, nothing in it, but there'll no doubt be trees being planted. All of this area here will become space for us to expand Quarry Park into, which is really exciting for all of us.
But it looks nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's really really fantastic. So anyone in the chat who has not been to Quarry Park, Derek is going to need as many patrons as possible to help him with this latest stage of his development of his course. You can go along, it's pay to play, but it's not very expensive, so anyone can afford to go. And I highly suggest you check it out, and you can book a tee time at quarrypark.app. So yeah, support Quarry Park. And the other item of UK Disc Golf news that we want to cover is this week's... So last weekend there was a tournament in Scotland called GGO, and it was won by Mr. Joe O'Brien. And Joe is, as of the latest racing update, due to rounds falling off from quarantine and the fact that he averaged well over 1,000 in this tournament, is now the highest rated player in the UK. I think he's 987 rated now. So really, congrats to Joe. And if you want to go over to Don't Shoot's Facebook page, you can see a map that they produced showing his excellent round. And yeah, it's really exciting to have so many up-and-coming younger players in the country who are all going to be competing with each other.
So, what was the rating you said for the highest rated UK player at the moment?
987.
987. Okay. Do you have any idea how many PDGA members you have at the moment? I'm going to look it up anyway.
I think it's probably around 400 if I had to guess.
Do you have Like I know I'm heavily involved in our host body. What's it called? I always forget what it's called in English. Our National Disc Golf Association. So I'm
Sure.
heavily involved in that since I'm part of the board, and I'm the PDGA country coordinator for Denmark as well. So I'm like heavily involved in in organizational disc golf in Denmark. So I track, our memberships, both for our host body as organization, which we reformed last year. So now we actually have an idea of how many people actually play organized disc golf in Denmark. So going from 100 and something that we knew about a few years ago, and we there were more, but there were only like 100 and something members of the old organization. The new organization we represent over 600 disc golf players now, and 431 of those are PDJ members, which is almost 100 more than we had at the end of the year last year.
Wow.
So disc golf has boomed in Denmark, and I'm pretty sure that it's boomed in the UK as well.
Yeah, it really definitely has.
Yeah. So I think I actually maybe looked. You can look in the numbers for anyone who cares, who wants to know the history of organized disc golf, at least seen from the PDGA perspective. You can go to pdga.com, and under documents there is a series of documents called end of year reports, where you can see back from, I think it's from around 2000 or something like that, maybe a little bit earlier, where they actually started tracking memberships and events across the globe. So if anyone is really bored, you can go and look up those documents. They can be quite interesting. I did see someone asked in the chat about the discs I have over here.
Ah, yes. Okay, well, let's talk about that in one sec, because there's one more piece of UK disc golf news I want to bring up, which is the tournament that's going to happen this weekend. So I know a lot of people are very excited to know about this tournament, because it's a complete sellout, which is crazy in this coronavirus times that we're having. But we're sold out at 90 players, oversubscribed, and we have 17 playing open, which is one of the most we've had in the UK in a very long time for an event that's not got any people travelling from overseas to play. So this is very exciting for all of us here watching. I'm not attending this one, as I said, injured and other reasons too, but I'm very excited to find out how it goes down, because we've got all of the best players in the country at this one event, I believe, pretty much, apart from the O'Briens, who I previously mentioned. So yeah, it's going to be an epic battle, and I'm looking forward to finding out who wins on that. We've got 2 in Open Women playing. We've got about 7 in Pro Masters, about 12 in Am Masters, 13 intermediates, 22 recreational players, including absolutely tons of players without a PDGA number yet. So more people who will in the future be joining, and loads of people who have not yet got their first rating. So it's really great to see so many people signed up to the PDGA as new members. So I'm sure our number will be increasing next time it's checked. And again, in novice, much more of that going on here too. So it's very exciting to see who wins this. I'm looking forward to hearing all about it, and this starts on Saturday, so good luck to anyone who's playing in this tournament. So, Renee, I can see you bursting to tell us about your discs behind you. Let's move on and talk frisbees.
I'm bursting to talk for hours. I can do that. People know that. So yeah, well, people were people were asking about these discs. Let's start from the bottom here. This is one of the discs from I think it was the player pack discs from Bluebell Woods 2018 that Seamus kindly gave to me for filming. Provided catering as well, which was very nice. So I got this disc. I have no idea what it is. I put it straight on the wall. I'm pretty sure it's a LAT 64 something. If I take this down, everything is gonna fall over. But we're gonna risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Yeah, it's a LAT 64 disc. It's actually a River. It's a pretty good disc.
Yeah.
We already have one of those or 2 of those. But yeah, a River is a pretty good disc for beginners and happy amateurs like me.
Agreed.
Second one is from the player pack disc from from my tournament. I have a tournament that I've been running for 5 years now, called One More for the Landfill. It's a little hard to see in with the lights here, but I have the logo is made based on one of the courses, one of the old baskets on our on the local course got a little bit tired, over the years as the ground kind of dried up around it. So I made the logo over that, and the kicker is the tournament is called One More for Landfill, and the premise for this tournament is that we start on a really long wooded course 20 minutes away from here, and then we play the afternoon round on the local course here. And the local course here is actually an old landfill. And so there's a little bit of a double meaning in this, because sometimes you have a disc in your bag that you don't really know, should I keep it? Should I, throw it out? Should I give it to someone? But you kind of sometimes still throw it because, sometimes it's good, but that one time, once in a while, it gives you a really bad throw and you're just thinking, it's for the landfill, throw it out. So that's kind of why I came up with the name, and because the course is on the landfill. So this is a Kasterplast Jute, actually.
Oh, excellent.
I have 4 more of these for sale, and you get a mini with them as well. I can't remember the exact price, but shipping is we can talk about it. So if you're interested in one of these, hit me up after the show. You get a mini bag as well with it.
Anyone who knows me knows I'm a Kasterplast aficionado collector, so I may be doing that after the show. Yes.
So I'm surprised you didn't actually respond when I put them up for sale last year in the Kasterplast group. But
I probably just didn't see it.
No. Well, I'll do it again. The top one is it's the fundraiser disc for our national tour this year, and this is going to turn into a real collector's item, because first of all, we only had 80 of these made, and the Danish tour this year was cancelled. So, because Corona. It's a Sapphire, LED 64 Sapphire, lightweight, speed 10 driver.
Good disc.
It's in the Easy to Throw series. I can't remember the other flight numbers, but it is a speed 10 driver. But it's only 157 grams. So, personally, I don't really know what this disc wants to be, because, beginners aren't supposed to be throwing speed 10 discs, but this is a disc for beginners.
Yeah, so I would recommend that disc to 2 different groups of people. I'd recommend it to people who are ready for their first step up from the speed 7 drivers, who want to get a distance driver for the first time, but don't necessarily have the arm speed to throw full distance drivers yet. I would recommend the Sapphire to those group of people. And also, I know a lot of female players are really enjoying Sapphire as a disc that gets them a lot of extra distance. So.
And I know there's a local guy here that throws the Sapphire with sidearm. Like he's a really strong. He has a really strong sidearm, and man, can he get that disc to throw far. It's amazing. I haven't tried it myself yet, because we might be getting into that later. You talked about the desert disc golf,
yes.
Deserted island disc golf thing
coming up.
But because I have a slow speed. I have a slow arm. So I throw lower speed discs. Or, well, I say that, but, not speed 10. But I am going to try it. I am going to try it.
I think you'll like it. I've thrown one a few times, and it's a really good disc for that kind of situation. So I think you've done the transition for us. Shall we go straight into Desert Island discs right now? Why not?
Let's do that.
While we're talking about discs. Boom, there we go. Graphics up on stream. Everybody's going to be seeing what we're seeing. So so the brief I always give is you're headed to a desert island course. You can only bring 3 discs. I say putter, mid-range driver, and then everyone ignores me, but feel free. What are you going to be
saying? Everyone ignores you, then I'm going to ignore you. No, wait.
What are you going to be throwing on the desert island? Let's have a look.
Do we know what the weather is going to be like on this desert island?
I'll let you make that up.
Because a desert island sounds like a place where, first of all, there are no trees and lots of wind, which means that I probably picked the wrong free discs out of my bag, but sure, let's go with it because these are the discs. These are my go-to discs anyway. For my putter, I have I can't even see what it says anymore. It's an easy something Mercy.
Yeah, Lat 64 Mercy.
Yeah, and you can see it's really worn because this disc has been thrown by Mes Smith before me. I got this one and another one in the same plastic used from him, and I'm probably not gonna switch putters at all.
Yeah, it's a really good putter.
At any time. It's really grippy. The plastic for me is really nice and grippy. It's not too soft, but it's still not like hard. So I use it both for middle, short upshots, anhyzers, and for putting, of course. I'm known as a guy that every second day can sink anything from 10 meters or 12 meters, and every other day it's like way off. But this is the Mercy all the way. For my mid-range, this is actually, well, I'm not sure if it's this specific disc because I have two of these and at some point I kind of switched between them, but I bought them like within 2 weeks of each other. It's a Lat 64 core, mid-range, fairly straight. On good days when I can actually figure out how to keep the nose down, I can kind of make it do a little bit of a turnover as well. But for me, it's just a really nice, good straight upshot mid-range. It does not like headwinds, so this desert island is without wind.
Yeah, it can be a very chill desert island.
Yeah, very nice island, with palm trees where you can sip margaritas. Oh yeah. So for my driver, this is actually a full Lat 64 lineup. Because for my driver, it's a little hard to see because I took off the stamp. It's a Fury, and I think this is actually a broken Fury. It's an opto plastic, and I don't know if you can see. I put a stamp. I put my own little stamp on it, but it's really hard to see.
Ah, yeah, you can see a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So this is my, hey kids, wanna buy some Corona? So this is like the COVID-19 signature thing that I found on the internet. But no, I think this is a Fury, and it's if I remember correctly, it's a Speed 9 fairway driver. And I used to have a Gold Line Fury that I could kind of make, it is supposed to be a fairly flippy fairway driver for someone who has the arm speed for a Speed 9. But for me, I could control it. I could make a long anhyzer if I put it on a little bit of an any angle. Then I lost that disc, and I had two other ones in Opto in orange. That are, this one is 150. Yeah, this one is 165 grams, and the other ones are 171. And the two other orange Furies I have in Opto plastic are very overstable for me. And I don't think it's because they're broken. I think this one is broken because this one is only 6 grams lighter, but it is flippy as, it's almost as flippy as a really, really beaten DX Valkyrie.
Oh wow, okay.
British, and yeah. So this one I can make really, because I have a terrible problem of, I always keep throwing my discs nose up. And even with a little bit of nose up in the tailwind, I can make this disc go really straight. And when I really get the angle right, I can make some really nice and long, for me, long turnover, like long anhyzers. So this disc has actually, it's a disc that a friend of mine lost and someone else found it, and she didn't want it back, so I got it from her. So I'm actually really happy about this disc because it really does what I want. I do have some other Furies as well. I am beating a Gold Line Fury in as well. It was, on the maybe list, but I could only bring 3.
You could.
So, yeah.
So there you go. You got a Mercy, you got a Core, and you got a Fury. Full Lat 64 lineup, and I'm sure they're going to treat you well on the desert island.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Especially since there's no wind on my island. None of these discs like wind at all. But I have a completely different setup for a windy island. But that's for another day.
So, fun fact for you, I used to putt with the Mercy. That was my one of my first... it was the first putter I changed to after my sort of starter set putter. And I putted with them for the first sort of year of playing disc golf before I switched away to the Envy and then to the Castle Plus Reiko and then to the Launch Disc Golf Lander, which is something else that I should probably be shouting out and promoting while we're here. Launch Disc Golf Landers with the Don't Shoot Disc Golf artwork are available on... discgolfuk.uk, £12 plus shipping, and you get to support the show. And we've got our own signature disc. I would have one here to show you, but I've actually taken them to work to post them.
Or maybe just show a picture of it. But
the chat have all seen it before. Don't worry, it's only
maybe
you.
Maybe have a link to it in the description of the show. You don't have anything like that's another thing. You need some more things in your description. You need a link to the competition in your description as well.
There's links on my page, and everyone here has heard me talk about it before. This is just a reminder to people who haven't got it yet. But I've seen people out on the course with them now. So,
but to plug more about the Mercy and my YouTube channel as well, because you should subscribe to the Danish Disc Golf Guy on YouTube as well. Especially since I want to reach 1,000 subscribers, so I can actually start live streaming from my phone again. But no. Last year I had the pleasure of actually being invited to film the Dutch Open in Rijs. I think it was called Rijswijk Park.
Okay.
If there's any Dutch people in the chat, they're probably gonna yell at me. But and I had the pleasure of filming Kevin Konzer, one of the really good German disc golf players, and he is Lat 64 sponsored as well, and he was sinking everything from outside 10 meters with his Mercy. So Mercy all the way.
Yeah, I know.
So you can go and check out that video on my YouTube channel.
Hopefully, I've just linked to a YouTube channel in the comments so people can go and check out your channel when they're done with the show. Which Yeah, we have to make it a slightly shorter show this week, guys, because the Danish Disc Golf Guy has to go in 4 minutes. I'm under strict instructions not to let the show run over.
No. I have until 5 minutes to 10 your time.
Oh, okay. So we've got a little bit more time. That's good.
Because that gives me time to actually start because I'm working. One of my colleagues got ill. So I have to take his night shift. But fortunately, I'm working from home, so I just have to leave this desk and go to another desk. Okay,
so we have a question for you from the chat, from Carol. She says, do you stream in English when you stream?
We the live streams we did earlier in the spring, at least for the first part, while we did have the foreign guest on, I did make a point out of having the foreign guest appear first, so we could do the first part in English. I would do a short introduction in Danish as well, but quickly switch to English, and then we would do the interview section with the foreign guest, and then we would switch back to Danish for the remainder of the show. There was a little bit of because I kind of got a little bit what's it called? I got a little bit disheartened seeing that the people following the live stream like halved every time we did a live stream. So we started with 40 something people at peak when we had Tony Farrow on, and when we had Chirac Kraus from Luxembourg, I think 20 people were watching the show live. And of course there were a little bit of issue with the shows running really long, and we had a really long after show, and of course the after show is voluntary for people to stick around and just talk about bullshit. But the main show was really long as well for one of the shows. So I asked people what could I do to make it more interesting for people to actually stick around. And of course I did it on Saturdays at first because we couldn't do anything else anyway. We couldn't play competitions. So people were sitting at home watching disc golf, and it was really early in the spring, so people weren't doing anything anyway. And then of course the weather got better. People could start, playing, late in the evening as well. But we did talk about splitting the show into having only like a Danish section where we had a shorter section where we only talked about Danish disc golf. Maybe have one guest on that would, a little bit like Dana Vici would do for Smashbox, talk about results from other tournaments, but on a lighter base, and then have some specific English shows where we only talked to this one specific guest. But I never really got around to doing that because now we are in the middle of our disc golf season here. I'm heavily involved in we don't have a Danish tour at the moment, but we do have other tournaments where I'm like the back-end support for all these, for the TDs who need help with metrics and PDGA stuff. So at the moment I'm not really doing any live streams. The live streams I am doing are in Danish. But there will be more when we come around to the fall and winter again, where we have less disc golf. But it will be on regular weekdays instead, because Saturday turned out to be a really bad day as well for many people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we have just time left for two more topics that I want to talk through, and the first topic that I'd love to chat about is disc golf in Denmark. So I am going to be coming to Denmark next year, doing a mini tour through a bunch of European countries, and the first stop is going to be Copenhagen. So I would like...
Beep, yeah.
You're all good. So I'd love your advice on which courses I should play in Copenhagen.
You're definitely not going to be playing the course in Copenhagen, that's for sure. There is one course in Copenhagen at the moment called Valby Park, and even though Valby Park is suffered heavily from Corona, because lots of people, when they were, first of all, the Valby Park course is overplayed already as it was before Corona. But then during Corona, people found out that, we want to go out and, find new activities that we can do outside that are safe. Disc golf is a thing. And the Valby Park course was a little bit cursed by, it still is. It's cursed being on protected land, and the course was only installed as a kind of a tester, and no one from the council actually followed up on it. So the course is only there because someone has kind of forgotten about it. But since it's on protected land, they weren't allowed to install T-pads until like maybe June. They got the permission in June to install T-pads, like proper T-pads. Right now, all the T's are just holes in the ground. But even when they do get proper T-pads installed, because they're going to be working on finding funding for that now. Even when they do get that, it's the course is maybe a little bit boring. What you should do instead is jump on a train, go to the train station near where I live, and I will pick you up, and we will go to the two courses that are played for Crocodile Open, or were played for Crocodile Open last year. Next year it's only going to be one course, but we have two courses here that are we do have quite a lot of good courses in Denmark, and lots of them are one of the best courses in Denmark. But it is true, we have lots of good courses. But we have two really good courses up here. One is fairly short but really bumpy. The other one is fairly long, but flat, but kind of wooded. Not Finland wooded, but it is kind of wooded. So I would take you to these two courses.
Yeah,
if you have more time, maybe you're flying into Copenhagen, maybe you're renting a car and you're going on a road trip, towards the rest of Europe. So if you have the time when you're driving towards Germany, you're going to be stopping at another course called Vojens Disc Golf Park, which is a fairly new course. It was a 9-hole course until last year, when it was extended to 18 holes, and they have tee pads for the middle tee, They are working on getting funding for the long tees as well, but that course is really good as well. Good mix of wooded holes and open holes, but very technical wooded course. But that it really rewards a good player. So, and even I can get birdies on that course, so I really recommend it.
Very good.
So E. Orden and Fredtoften here in on the island where I live, north of Copenhagen, and Vojens in Jutland. But there are many other courses to play here.
Yeah, cool. I can't wait. That sounds great. I'm I'm planning a 3-week adventure next summer. So I'm gonna do 7 countries, I think, in 3 weeks. So that's gonna be.
Oh wow! Do you have an idea of the time frame? Because if you time it really right, you can attend my tournament. Well, you can attend this tournament.
Okay.
It's usually the last weekend of July.
Yeah, that sounds actually quite likely to be close to where I'll be there. So we'll.
Might be moved because this year we had it till the second to last weekend of July, but I'm not sure if it's gonna stay there or if I'm gonna move it back to the last weekend. I don't know yet.
Well, we'll have to see where things lie.
Yeah. But you should come and play it. Oliver played it the first year I had it, so.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Well, I'm sure.
Where's Ollie?
Sure
Is Ollie in the chat, by the way? He
yes,
said he would be listening.
Ollie has been here talking in the YouTube chat.
Ah, okay.
He's excited about a course called Tlist, I think.
What?
I'll
The
paste.
link you put for London Disc Golf Community YouTube channel link is not working, by the way.
I'll have to.
The one you have in the description.
I'll have to fix that. It was working when I clicked it before, but YouTube does weird things for me. So thanks to London Disc Golf Community for supporting the YouTube stream.
Oh, now it works. Second time I click it, it works. No, never mind. I'm looking for the link to your YouTube channel.
That's his.
I saw the link there. I think it's this one. Yeah.
Entirely another question.
Yeah.
So
What? I'll be there. Name of the courses. Oh yeah, Tilst. Tilst is a course near a city called Aarhus, which is also in Jutland in the western part of the country. I know that Oliver has. I think he's got family in Aarhus, so he's been playing Tilst, and they were extended with It's one of the few courses where, of course, we've seen a boom in the amount of courses in Denmark over the last few years, and this year, because it was one of the courses that was that saw an extra use after during Corona. And the local council actually, someone from the club contacted the council saying that, could we get some help? And they provided all the materials for brand new tee pads for the remaining tees they were missing over there. So they have all their tee pads installed now.
Wow, excellent.
And it was a pretty good course before, but now it's a really good course.
Brilliant.
And they're started to actually do tournaments again over there, so that's really nice.
Cool. That's really really great to hear. So,
but we can put a link to the you can look up the courses in Denmark. They're all most of them are in the PDJ registry and UDisc as well.
Yeah, cool. So we're reaching the end of the show for tonight. So thanks to everybody for joining us. We need to do our giveaway, and I am trying to find my list of subscribers so I can pick some people. Cool. Okay, so the winner of we've got 3 codes to give away. I was hoping I was going to be able to show this on the screen, but I don't think I can. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to post the link. I'm going to post on my Don't Shoot socials the winners of the 3 UDisc codes, and I'll get them over to you there because we're having some technical difficulties with picking random people, and I want it to be fair for everyone. So the giveaway is
he's not showing it at all.
the giveaway is going to be announced at the end. I'll find some way to let you all know who were the winners. But yeah, so thanks so much to everybody for joining us for this episode. Thanks to Rene for coming on. I know he's got to get to work in 2 minutes, so we're gonna have to call it here. But thanks to everyone for showing up. Thanks for all the support. Thanks to my people who support the show. We've got Udis giving them codes away. We've got Disc Golf UK, of course, sponsoring the Digital Green Room from where Renee came before, and we've got London Disc Golf Community for sponsoring the YouTube stream. So thanks to all my sponsors, and thanks to everyone in chat for being so awesome, and look forward to the giveaway results coming later tonight. And
Remember to subscribe to the Danish Disc Golf Guy on YouTube, please. Thank you.
And me. Subscribe to me.
Harry, don't shoot.
And don't shoot.
Subscribe to all of us. And London Disc Golf Community as well. Oliver is posting lots of videos at the moment. And he's getting better audio for every video. I'm always one step ahead of him on the audio.
So thanks so much, everybody, and we'll see you next week for another show. Goodbye until then.
That went well. Oh.